The basic finger flip is pretty much putting both your feet together on the tail of the board in a standing position, and with your left hand reach down and put it on the nose of the board and just spin it and jump up at the same time. Let the board do one revolution and land back on it. You can also do this rolling, and there's other variations of this trick. The double finger flip is pretty much just like the normal single finger flip, but you're going to do 2 revolutions of a spin instead of 1. And you basically put your feet in the same way, and you can put your hands on the top of the board or on the side to get more pressure. And to do any kind of a double finger flip or kick flip, you have to apply more pressure to the board so that you'll spin 1 more revolution. And basically the board spins around twice and you'll land back on it. The 180 backward rolling finger flip is basically turn the board around and roll backwards. Put your back foot directly over the tail of the board, which is now the nose of the board, and your front foot should be directly behind the front truck of the board. And basically squat down, grab the board with your left hand, hit the nose of your board as you're going backwards, and finger flip it, and it should spin a 180, and you'll land back on it. Rail to pogo is basically starting from the rail, having both feet over top of the trucks, and your right foot should be a little bit past the wheel, going towards the center of the bottom of the board. And you want to put a lot of pressure on that when you're picking up the board with your hand, so that the board will just turn right to the truck, when your foot should be directly on top of the truck by now, and you can start to pogo. This next trick is a finger flip to pogo, but any pogo trick you should use some kind of safety equipment, such as a shin guard here, and you can put it right inside of your sock, just like this. This will keep your legs safe from any metal part of the board hitting your leg, because this is a very sharp kingpin right here, this bolt right here, or the metal part of the truck itself could hit you. So you always want to wear some kind of safety equipment while you're doing pogos, such as this. Pogo finger flip to pogo. Like I've said before, in any pogo trick, you should definitely use a shin guard for protection, especially any finger flip to pogo, because the board is spinning around. You're going to catch it between your legs, and the middle part is going to hit right there. And basically what you're doing is you're pogoing already, like this, and you're going to finger flip the board, and as you're doing that, you're jumping up, so you have enough time for the board to complete the revolution, and you catch it between your legs and continue to pogo. The spacewalk 50-50 is just like a normal spacewalk, but you're up on the truck of the board. Your back foot is on top of the board, and your front foot is underneath the board, such as this. And you're pretty much using your upper body strength to pivot back and forth, just like a normal spacewalk. The rolling backwards 50-50 is basically what you're going to do is get up onto the trucks with your feet, and it's not using any portion of your hands to pull the board up. It's mainly using your feet themselves. And what you do is it's easier to use the nose of your board to go backwards to hit the surface first. And where you put your feet are basically right below the front trucks on your front foot, and your back foot should be a little bit above the back trucks, so that you can have a little bit of a wedge to flip it over. And you can put a lot of pressure on your front foot to get it over, just like any Casper, but you're going to have to put a lot of pressure at the same time on your back foot to get it up in the air and spin around and land back on it. The impossible, a trick that was made up by Rodney Mullen, the current world champion. It's virtually impossible, so I'm not going to do it. No. It's basically, you can do it several different ways. The easiest and basic first way is to do the normal impossible, which is put your board pretty much like this, your back foot on the tail of the board, keeping your board in an upright position like this, and your front foot goes underneath the front part of your board, directly right above the front truck. And what you're doing here is you're going to throw the board completely end over your back foot. And it's kind of like a kick flip, but long ways. And here's a little tip that I've learned by myself, is to kind of pivot, throw your weight into like a 90-degree turn when you're doing this maneuver. And when you're at this point, have the board like up in the air, and then scoop the board underneath, or around your foot rather, and land back onto the board in a 360 revolution around your foot.
Remember, freestyle is about fun, about being creative, about doing things your own way.